Hi, I'm going to show you today how to make the Medallion Christmas tree. This is made with 11 medallions that are a 1/4 inch difference in each one. Now, I've written out a cutting guide for your paper. You will need 6 sheets of designer series paper. I'm using Old Olive. And I'm going to show you how to do the first one so you understand the rest. The first sheet that you're going to cut is 12 inches by 11.5. And with your Simply Scoring tool, you're going to go along and score at every 1/2 inch. Okay, then you're going to take your paper and you're going to cut 2 pieces at 3 inches. And then you're going to cut 2 pieces at 2 3/4. If you just cut what's left in half, you've got 2 pieces at 2 3/4. And then you have, what you end up with, is you turn this over, and because they are double-sided, you'll have the bottom layer of the tree and then the next layer of the tree going up. So let me show you how to put this together. There are a lot of ways to make the medallions, lots of ways. The way I do it is I'm going to start at one end and I'm going to fold it up, and then I'm just going to accordion fold along the score lines that I've just made with my Simply Scored tool. Okay. And I didn't press real hard. So there you go. There's so I have it like that. And then on the next one, I'm going to start it by folding it down. So I started the first one by folding the first score up, and the second one by folding the second one down. And what I get are 2 pieces that will hook together like this. And I'm going to use my Tombow multi-purpose glue, and I'm just going to put a little glue on here, and I'm going to hook these together, and I want to press it in there, and then just kind of squeeze it together for a second. You don't want to put too much because you don't want it to gush out. And then I'm going to go to one of the ends and do the same thing, and I'm going to make a tube. Okay, so then I have a tube, and the idea for the medallions is that when you push the top together, kind of pull it out, and there's your circle. And this is the bottom of my tree right here. Now let me show you how I put them together. I'm going to take a 1 3/4 inch circle punch in Old Olive and use hot glue, and just put a glob of hot glue on there. Then I'm going to center, sort of center, my tube, my biggest medallion over top, and I'm just going to collapse it down on top of there and hold it for a second. Be careful when using hot glue because it can gush out the top. And there you go. So that's the bottom medallion, and then you're just going to repeat it until you have with all of the pieces that you cut until you have 11 medallions, and they should kind of look like this. They should stack up on top of each other and each be a little bit quarter inch shorter. And then all I do is add glue to the center, and I try to center this here, and I just hold it on there. I usually have to stand up to do this so I can see if it's centered. So there you go. And the hot glue dries pretty fast, so you can get it. This doesn't take a long time. So there you go, there's that. And you just keep stacking them up, trying to keep it centered. Might be leaning a little. I should turn it as I'm going so I can see all the way around. That's 10. And when I get to 10 and 11, I'm only using a 1-inch circle punch, or it'll show, and you really don't want it to show. And then there's my tree. So my medallion tree is all together. Now let me show you how to make the trunk. Let's see the little trunk that I made down in there. For this one, I took a 1-inch circle punch and punched out a piece of chocolate chip, and I hot glued a bamboo skewer that I got from the grocery store onto it. And now I'm going to use the 3 smaller pieces. These are not 2 pieces of These are not 2 1/2-inch strips together. These are just 1 1/2-inch strip, scored at a 1/2 inch. So to put this together, I'm going to put some hot glue on my stick. And then I'm going to do this one backwards, and I'll show you why. And I'm going to put this over the stick. And I'm just going to smush my medallion so that it is around my bamboo skewer. And you want to do this with the opposite side showing up, because this skewer is then going to be turned and your tree trunk's going to go that way. And you can see I don't have it exactly on there, but that's all right. Okay, so there's that. And now I'm just going to put some hot glue on top of this. And go over this one. And I'm just going to start squishing my medallion together around the bamboo skewer. There it is. Push it in there. Kind of feel like you need 8 hands, but once you start doing it, you'll get the hang of it. The biggest tip I can tell you about making medallions is to play with your rings first and squish them down before you hot glue them, and that gives them kind of the memory that they need to go on there. Okay, I didn't use quite enough hot glue there, so I'll just hold it and add a little more hot glue. I might have overdone it there, but that's okay. over the top of this one. And there's the third trunk medallion. I'm just going to have to hold this one down a little bit. After you get that third trunk on there, piece of the trunk, you're going to want to add just a little hot glue around the bottom of the skewer to hold it. Just give it a second to dry. And now this is the trunk of your tree, and the bamboo skewer is what you're going to use to insert it into whatever you have, whatever kind of pot that you're using. I don't have another one of these pots, but I took a styrofoam ball and cut it in half and shoved it down in here. And then I used my craft and rubber scissors to cut the skewer to the length that I needed it, just like that. Okay? And then I'm going to take my tree that I've just done and put some hot glue on my trunk piece. Boy, you can see how hot my hot glue is. And I'm going to try to get about the center here and just glue it on. Your medallions these circles don't always end up exactly center, so make sure you're putting it there. And there's my tree. And then this will go down into, again, the pot that I've already put the styrofoam in, just like this one was. Now to make the star, I punched 2 little stars in Daffodil Delight, and I'm taking my scissors, and on one of them I'm going to cut a little bit more than halfway up, and then on the other one I'm going to cut a little bit more than halfway down. Hope that makes sense. And then they fit together like this, and to get it to stick, I just used a little tiny bit of hot glue on the points. Almost out of hot glue. Okay, and I went up onto the top, and I try to, you don't want it to end up in a fold or it won't stick, and I try to get it right up in there. And there's my star. So that's how you make a medallion Christmas tree. And thanks for watching.